Well, we teased it at the top of the show because these days, while we're spending more time at home, still, if you're like Carly and I, we love to focus on interior design, maybe making changes or tweaking things in your home. But oh boy, do we always have a lot of questions. That's why we're so excited to get to know Amber Gray, principal designer and owner of Grayson Interiors. Good morning, Amber. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. I'm so excited to talk with you and start kind of helping us. Maybe you bought a new piece of furniture during the pandemic, or maybe you bought a new piece of artwork and you're kind of like, okay, how do I make this work in my home? And that's where we're going to bring you in, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure and honor. And just like you said, a lot of us are at home and we're trying to spruce up the place and figure out what to do. So I'm just happy to be here to offer some tips and suggestions on how to make those space more comforting.
Okay, so first question might be a really easy one, and maybe it's just me that needs to know this out there. But I'm noticing where you're standing, and I think about ready to decorate. What
Yes.
do we call that? Because I always hear so many different terms thrown around. I hear console, I hear credenza, I've heard side buffet. Are those all the same thing, or are they all different?
They're a bit different. They serve somewhat of the same purpose. So a console is very open at the bottom. You'll see a lot of space. Whereas a credenza or a sideboard is heavy, literally and figuratively, actually. It's heavy because it is more closed in and it's bigger in volume as well as weight. So when having a sideboard or a console, you can have it in the entry, behind the sofa, in your dining room, or again in your entry like mine.
Okay, by the way, I love that piece of furniture. If you just want to even bring that right over to my house, that would be fabulous. But I know so many times people want to tend to use those for like, oh, I'll throw my keys or I'll throw the mail.
Yeah.
Let's try to make it a little, have some pizzazz. Let's make it a little stylish. How can we decorate that if we have a piece of furniture like that in our homes?
Sure, sure. So, a few tips that I always like to incorporate when decorating an entry piece or a sideboard is with wherever you are entering from, you always want your highest piece on that particular side. And I say your highest piece, meaning your tallest piece. For example, I have a few different choices of.
Oh, those flowers look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. So I have a few choices of greenery, and I would just place that here, or I can switch it up and decide to use this one instead. It's kind of whichever one you choose to use, but because it's my tallest piece, it's going to be furthest away from the entry place.
Okay, I can
And Carly,
handle
I'll let
that.
you choose which one would you prefer here.
Oh, she's put me on the spot. I'm going to go flowers. Are those peonies by the chance?
They are.
I story for another day, Amber, but we
Okay,
got to go the peonies for this one. Okay, where else can we pick up? What are some other tips for
perfect.
people to keep in mind?
So another thing you always want to use is a nice trinket or decor piece. Because my artwork has gold in it, I can either use either orb. I'm a fan of gold just because I feel like it just adds a bit of
Yes.
opulence and color, and it's a nice metallic to use. So we can use either or, but because we kind of have circles going on, I'm going to go with this one here, and we'll just place that beside that like so.
Nice. Okay, we have under a minute left, unfortunately, Amber. I
Okay.
love that you bring up the gold. I'm glad gold is back. What are some other things people can keep in mind overall? Say the artwork, and again, we have under a minute left.
Okay, no problem. One other thing you can always use, which I love to use, are books. Books add for color and for height. I'm going to use five here, and those are going to go right under this, and then right between this. And it just adds another element, and you put that there, and there you have it.
Oh, that looks great. And that's part of the, like the whole mixing textures thing, which I always like here I want to achieve, but I'm not really sure how to achieve it.
Yes, most certainly. So those books, and then you just have a trio. You never want to use more than three things together. So the plan is one, the books are two, the orb is three, and then you have your artwork and your sideboard. So you want to keep it simple and clean.
Awesome.
You never have to make it very full.
Amber, good stuff. Thanks for being with us and doing this. Of course, you can get more information from her, grayson-interiors.com. And come back. Let's do more of these. That was really fun.
Thank you. I would love to. Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
You too.